often on the 1 minute, but then that makes it that much more risky. Because you kind of gotta, you kind of do have to, and those signals, that's just the indicators and the candles and shit. Like, not to mention, if you want to enter a long, it's best to do it at an area of support. If you want to enter a short, it's best to do it at an area of resistance. And then obviously if you're going for longs, you want to be in an uptrend, at least a short-term uptrend. If you're going for shorts, you want to be at least in a short-term downtrend. So, but you can short. What's crazy is that even if it's in an uptrend, you can use it to short. But then, you just got to switch your ratio. So like if you're in a short-term uptrend, you can short with it, but then you want to, instead of having a 1-to-5 ratio, you'd have like a 1-to-2. Say what?
And I'm testing my mic ratio. Can you hear it?
Yeah, but it sounds like shit. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I'll run through it with you sometime if you want to see it, but I've been working with it for a while, so it works pretty good for me. It might be tough to just try to jump into it, but but it's pretty good for like just making really quick scalps, like not getting married to a position, but getting in and out, like leaving a runner and then putting your stop loss in the profit is like mainly like I'll just keep moving my stop loss up until like I see an area where, if I see an area where I would short it, then I move my stop loss up to like right below the price. Like I'll have a take profit set above it and a stop loss set below it. And I just, as the price moves up, I move the take profit closer. I move the stop loss up. Like say I'm going long, I'll bring the take profit down. I'll bring the stop loss up if it looks like it's starting to turn around and roll over. But I wouldn't have been able to do this type of stuff if I didn't have the computer. Like now that I have a new computer, I can actually get away with maneuvering it like more quickly.
Do it more quickly.
Huh?
You got to do it more quickly.
Yeah. I think I'm actually going to take some profit on this cyber trade because there's a chance it could turn around a bit and I'm up a pretty decent amount of money.
Yeah, quiet. Any better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
I think something was stuck in my the mic hole, mic slot, maybe lint or something.
Something was stuck in your mic slot?
Yeah, I heard something was stuck in the hole. You know the little hole where the mic is on the bottom of the phone?
Mm-hmm.
Say something was stuck in there. Matches
And-
fat head.
What?
So you have a plug-in mic?
Plug and
No, I
play.
should probably get one of those for the phone, huh?
Well, if something was stuck in it, how? I mean, how would that hinder your audio if something was stuck in there? It doesn't. What are you on Bluetooth or do you have something plugged in?
Yeah, I'm on Bluetooth. I'm not on Bluetooth now because I turned the vehicle off. But now I'm on regular speakerphone. But I do think that something was stuck in the mic hole, meaning I blew on it and now you guys could hear me.
Oh, so like the actual mic for the phone.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
I thought you meant like a headphone jack.
You blew on it all slow.
was-
Like,
I was like, phones don't even have those anymore.
mine does. Did. Gold, man. Gold.
Gold, bro. Oh, yeah, Trago, you still there?
Yeah, I was responding to Clive. He was wondering why Pisket wasn't really in here like he was initially. I think maybe it was just the honeymoon phase. I was trying to explain the reason why I think he's not in here. And he was kind of mentioned that just the trading style doesn't match up with the way he trades. You know, it's more of I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to belittle the group because the group is fucking great. But when trades are happening and there's like these high leverage wins that are getting posted like Instagram posts, then it kind of could influence some people to maybe take bad trades or wonder why they're not seeing those same type of wins when it's just only wins being posted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to him, the group had unexpected influence on his trades, and he second guessed a trade that would have played out well for him, and cut it short right before it would have put him in profit.
The Donnie effect.
Yeah, well, I mean that's fucking stupid though. Like if I mean like this whole time, like all month, everyone's been saying, "Oh, it's so bullish," but it's like, dude, I've just been sitting here being like, I think this is bearish. Like not just because I want it to go down, but I'm seeing so many signals that say that it should go down, and it's.
But did it go down?
No.
I mean, it hasn't. Not yet.
I mean, that's why Pisket left. Like he was bearish at a local top and was sharing some TA, and yeah, there was just an overwhelming bullish sentiment apparently that made him second guess that trade, and he cut it short, and then it went down. And he's a short term trader, and I think a lot of the people that were kind of trolling him were long term bulls. So it was just a disconnect in time frame, but it messed him up.
It's
not-
It's complicated in here.
He's
There's
not
a
used
lot-
to public spaces. He has to get used to us.
Isn't that the rule? Everyone's, some people are shorting, some people are trading, some people are bullish, some people are bearish. You do you.
Some people are longing, some people are shorting.
People are
That-
counter
do you.
people just to counter trade people. It's chaos in here. He's just got to not let it affect him.
Yeah, I think the effect was more subconscious. Like, I don't think that he intended for things to go that way. And it's not like somebody said, "You're shorting? What are you doing?" And then he was like, "Oh my God, let me cut this." It was just like enough.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cut this.
enough trolling happened to where it was just like, yeah, maybe they're right. And yeah, cut it short right before the price went down to where it would have been decent profit for him. But again, it was a disconnect between time frame.
No, not even just a disconnect between time frame. It's a disconnect
Fucking Clive.
between what people are saying. Like half the time when people are trolling, they're not even serious.
I mean, I like his angle, like what he brings, because like it is kind of refreshing to test people's theories on the reason why they made a trade. I mean, we are a trading group that it's still forever evolving and learning and trying to deconstruct people who have great plays and also kind of analyze why some trades didn't go in some people's favor. So trying to like pry those questions open or get people to answer those questions is a little difficult sometimes, and he's not the best at trying at getting people to reveal those inner thoughts, so I get it.
Yeah, he's really just trying. He's trying to ask, like, what do you got going on? Like, why do you feel that way? Like to try to analyze why, like, what their like technique or strategy is, or like why they feel a certain way.
Yeah,
But the way that the way that he comes off, or like the tone that he gives, or something, is just like people aren't like as I don't know.
and yeah, it's it's almost
Not
like
that not that they're not willing, just that they're like he like I don't know. It's almost like he doesn't like ask the right way or something, which is like kind of like it sounds harsh saying that, but
No, he does. It's just they don't want to answer it. So, like when he was asking Crazy for 2 days the same question or whatever the fuck it was, Crazy knew what he was asking and just didn't want to answer it.
Yeah, he was very interested in like having anyone that speaks with confidence to show proof of their confidence by revealing their P&L. And I think for some people that feels like a little bit of an overstep, and it's private information. But yeah, he was very interested in that. But
it's almost like you're trying to ask for my camera roll, and I'm only trying to show you the good photos. So fuck you. Wanting to look at my camera roll, you fuck.
Yeah, well, look, if I was a better trader, I would have done that. But I'm not. Like, not every trade I make is green. I'm fooling around with futures. You want to look at my spot bags? That's another story. But futures, it's fucking hit and miss in there, unless you're using a real consistent strategy. And there are some things I found that are consistent. It's just whether you have the patience to wait those out.
Mm-hmm. It's
Well
I mean,
said.
yeah. And I think it's great to pry those questions open and to get people to talk and open up a little bit more, because those things need to be asked. And it's also maybe a self-reflection, in saying, okay, well, fuck, if you're going to call me out and I do have the balls to kind of answer and at least respect that question, then maybe it's a self-reflection to be like, okay, let me look at my past trades and see if, yeah, does this, when I back test this strategy, does it really work? Or did I just get lucky because we're in an uptrend or a downtrend and I took the right calls?
Man, speaking of getting lucky, did you hear Expectus come in last night?
Man, that motherfucker does it all the time.
He
don't
came
count.
in.
Yeah.
He came in hot talking about C-Lore, like all of you have been doubting me, and it's gone up 100%. Like, take a look at that chart. Like, it did have a nice little pump up, but he came in ready to throw down.
Oh, good thing I wasn't in here because I was
He was
trolling the fuck out of him.
He
Well,
was
in the
disappointed.
past,
Nobody
in
want to
the
argue
past,
back with him. He left.
in the past, in the other Discord, he would have gotten smacked for coming in.
Oh, it did pop. Hell
Well,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is though, like he's still probably, I mean, I don't know how much he averaged down, but he's still probably negative in that position.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn. Yeah. Last 2
Because
days,
he was
that thing
buying
really
the
did
top.
pop.
He was buying it like at the top when it first came out, right, Trago?
Yeah, he was buying around 3 cents, and then I guess buying as it went down. I mean, it did go to
Yeah.
fucking 1 cent. It got back to 1
Yeah,
cent.
I mean, he could have averaged down enough. I don't know, but from what I had heard from him, he had put in a big position, like at the top almost when it first came out.
Right. And it's still like 90% down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're that fucking heavy into it at the top, and then like it goes down 90%, and then it goes it goes up from the bottom. It's like that's
Mhm.
kind of different from like, hey, I bought a ton of this, and it went up like straight away. Like it went up right away after I bought it. Like it's different than, oh, it went down 90%. It's like, yeah, you get average down, but it's like, how much do you have to average down for you to actually be in the profit? You're definitely not 100% in the profit at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
if
right, and
at
who
all.
knows? This project, I mean, it could do well. But I mean, still most of the people, I mean, let's see, it's been like 3 or 4 months now since the project came out. So, you know, most of the people that bought for those first 2.5 months, they're still underwater.
Yeah.
And but it's still, I think he was saying the market cap is like a few million on this thing. It's really low. So it's got a chance to move. We got this bull market coming. Maybe it could do something cute.
It's a fucking whale trap.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
mean, I don't know.
Yeah. He did mention there's some like
going to stumble into it. They're going to put in too much money. They're going to see it go up. They're going to put in more money, see it go up, and get wrecked.
Well, according to Expectus, the reason for this recent pump up was some sort of fundamental development. So I don't know if that will have long term, impact, but we'll see. Yeah, but he was very happy.
Doge is getting a little bit of volume here on the 5 minute.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
I may take a little long here on this next 5 minute candle close.
Oh,
Are you still using that that one indicator you were talking about the other day, Trago?
Yeah, I'm using that one, and then so I'm using 3 indicators for confluence. If they're both showing that it's in a bullish direction, then I'm taking trades. I was mentioning that earlier. So it's the Super Trend AI. All these are from Lux Algo, and then the AI Super Trend Clustering Oscillator. That one I just added to the chart, and then the Polyfactor Oscillator too. So if all 3 of those are saying, if all 3 of those are saying it's a go, then I'm taking the trade.
Yeah, I remember just the other day you had some signal that came in for Doge and a few other coins, and that was like right before a nice 3-4% move up.
Yeah, this thing is pretty nice, man.
And what do you use it? So you're using that for your entry. What are you doing for your exit on those?
A 1-to-1. I'm just trying to do 1-to-1s on here because I think that's the best way to get in and out of a trade without fucking round tripping it or going into the negative. So right now I'm just testing 1-to-1, and then like with Solana, I did a 1-to-1, but I saw it had a lot of movement, so I kind of was pushing my stop loss up, and then kind of taking my I was pushing my stop loss up and my take profit.
How are you determining where the one belongs?
The one, but so I'm sharing my screen right here if you want to take a look.
Yeah. Because I mean, each coin being different, moving different percentages, things like that. And to me, it seems like I was talking with you the other day. Strategies like that I've seen before. If you are waiting till it flips back negative, a lot of times you're exiting at basically break even or worse if the market's choppy at all. But that being said, there was an opportunity for you to take profit there. So it seems like the only strategy that would seem to work for me with those type of indicators is to be using that for your entry, but then you have to take profit on the way up.
Yeah, 100%. Like on Solana, I took 75 out. When it went like 3-1, I took out 75 and then I left the rest running with the stop loss at break even.
All right, I'm in there.
Okay, so something like this here. So let's just go back here. Doge is giving you a green. It was breaking above this bearish super trend here, and you got the green signal here. You didn't quite get it here just yet, so you had to wait really for this candle close for this one to close. So let's just take this one for example to see if that one would have got you a win. So I would have gone in right at that candle close and then taken my stop loss here and it's done a 1-to-1. So let's see if that would have won here. Right there.
Okay, so you're going below the 5 minutes like swing low, or well, not quite, huh?
Yeah, I'm going right where it printed here just to give me a little bit of play. And so like this one here.
And which print is that you're looking for? Oh, so you're going to the first print is where you're going to put your stop loss.
Yeah. I mean, I probably could have went. Let me see if that would have failed here. I don't think it would have because I would have got in here. Yeah, I could have if I would have put it right at this marker here. This light green or this thin line is the trailing stop, so maybe putting it there could help too. But that I've been using this one here, just going to the initial spot.
Yeah.
So this one here, this new one. See, it's this super trend clustering oscillator. It's above the center line. This polyfactor is above the center line. You got the green let's go signal here. So the way I'd find my exit is doing a 1-to-1 here too. Yeah, so something like that.
Okay, cool. And then you're looking at taking 75% out at that target and leaving and bringing a 25% runner, bringing stop loss to break even.
Yeah, so if it breaks that target,
Nice.
then yeah, 75% out, and then yeah, pushing the sucker up to break even.
Cool, man. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, especially in this ranging shit, you could get chopped up here, but at least you have like these two oscillators for confirmation. So when it prints these red sell signals, I'm not getting in if these two oscillators are saying green. And I was trying to do just like two confluences, so like just two of these strategies or two of these indicators printing a certain way. And I feel like I got fucked up doing that, so I'm waiting for all three to kind of give me that direction. Let me take a look at a couple other ones here. I bet you this one won it. Well, no, you probably got stopped out right here.
Bounce, bitch.
Yeah, that would have been a loss there. But yeah, this AMA, I don't know what the fuck that means. There's like a trailing stop. Trailing stop AMA. Let me take a look at their website.
Oh, Trago, I want to show you that thing on the polyfactor oscillator
Yeah, what you got?
that I found.
It's just a thought too, real quick, Drago. Another condition probably that would be just a different to have a different school of thought in on that system would be going up to like an hourly and looking at your support resistance levels and have that be a qualifier. You know, if you're at support, then you're looking for long. If you're at resistance, you're only taking shorts. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, this price action concepts you can also like use. Well, this is a paid indicator, but you can do like order blocks on the time frame you're at, or you can do like whatever time frame you want. So you can do like 1 hour order blocks. So like on Doge, this is a 1 hour. I guess that's a retest. So this push up here. Yeah, this order block here that gave us a higher high in the 1 hour. Came back and retested it.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so looking for a long there makes sense
And then
on the short time frames. Yeah.
mhm.
Let's see if I can get my mouse tip to this thing. There it is. I'm so used to having the computer now that using my iPad is fucking kind of swag. But anyway, hold on. Let me share my screen. I had to get rid of some stuff on my chart. How do I do this? I wonder
Oh
if
yeah,
it'll actually let me broadcast.
this one also gives you like numbers on these labels too. Like the higher the number, the more strong of a confirmation of a trend, a potential trend movement. It's like a 0. It's kind of fucking shady.
Oh,
You got
that's
a
cool.
4 or a 5, yeah. I'm trying to find where that thin line comes into place.
All right. All right, I'm sharing my screen.
Who's that? Who is that blonde?
It's Rachel McAdams.
Oh shit.
My future wife.
Yeah, she's hot.
All right, so yeah,
Wait. Hold on, wait. Luke's in here. Show him that picture.
Yeah, let's see it. All right. Ooh.
She don't got a fatty though, is the only thing.
That looked alright to me. I don't know.
Your face can make up for
She's
it.
just really pretty. She's just like one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. You know,
And nice eyes.
Yeah.
Would you say her name was Rachel McAdams Apple?
Yeah. So I found these just while I was looking at the oscillator. And on the long-term trend, like you can see like these white lines, you can see that as this thing was making higher lows, like the price is making lower lows, and then this thing was making higher lows all the way until the point where it crossed, and then when it crossed, that's when it reversed.
Oh shit,
so
yeah.
like
That's fire.
That's a pretty cool thing. Like not that you can really use that to trade, but that's like, so you wouldn't really want to buy right here. Like, so here's one. Like this, the oscillator made lower highs. Like when it was in the blue, the oscillator made lower highs while the price made higher highs. So that's bearish divergence. But then right here, the price made lower lows while the oscillator was orange. It made higher lows while the price made lower lows. So that's bullish divergence. And then up here at the top, it actually called the top because the price made a higher high, the oscillator made a lower high. So that's bearish divergence. This is kind of an anomaly right here where this made a higher low and then the price also made a higher low. And that didn't really
Yeah, there's no divergence there.
yeah, that it didn't divert there. But this did, the price made a higher high and the oscillator made a lower
No, there's no divergence
low.
there.
So I don't
Wait,
know if
what?
the price made a higher high
Yeah,
and then the oscillator made a lower low. So
you're
that's
pointing
not
to two
really,
different points though.
yeah, it's not like, I don't know if you could really count that as a divergence. I just think that
Mm-mm.
I put
It-
that
it-
on a,
Yeah, if you were trying to trade just based on that little peak when it popped out of that zero line, right? I think that's when we hit 48K and then dipped.
so wait, what about this? If the price makes a higher low, but the oscillator makes a lower low, is that hidden bearish divergence
There's
But
no
yeah,
divergence in that area that you're looking
or
at though.
hidden?
yeah,
No.
because look at because you have that line way too far out. Like take that red line up on the price action and move it right before it cut below it on the right side.
Yeah, true. So yeah, these ones don't count.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't giving you signals there.
That green
Uh,
one is a good one though. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
So yeah, this one right here, you got a higher low in the oscillator, but a lower low in price. So that's bullish
I mean, you didn't get
divergence.
a huge move out of it, but it was still a clear divergence.
Well, still look, if you bought here, that's
17.5.
17K.
Yeah, to
So
fucking 25K.
for the whole cycle, you know what I mean? 75,
Right, right.
17.5 to 25. That's a pretty good move.
Yeah,
And for
yeah.
this
If you're
whole
only looking
cycle,
at the divergences, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I see.
So like you could have sold here, you could have bought here, you could have sold here, you could have bought here, you know? And then I haven't seen any others. I mean, this one kind of, not really. Like I wouldn't really trade off of that. And then so this is, now we're up to this point where we're getting to a point where we're going to see a pullback. You know, we see a lower high here. And this is annoying is what it is. This is a slightly higher high in price, but then the
Oh,
oscillator
yeah.
made a lower high,
That's a
and
nice
then
one.
we pulled back right after that. So now I'm looking for, now I'm going to be looking at this white line here, which it hasn't really played out yet. But like if we're making higher highs in price, I would expect to, if there was a divergence, to see a lower high in the oscillator, which it looks like these are equal highs here, right? But you know, this white line, that's why I put this white line here to see if they were equal highs. But it's actually a slightly lower high. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a slightly lower high, but you have a higher high. You have higher highs in price. So if this one plays out, that could be a bearish divergence.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely diverting on the short time frames too, which you're seeing that on our daily RSI as well.
So anyway, I just thought that was kind of cool that you could go through. I didn't do anything on the lower time frames because it showed up pretty well on the higher time frames. Like obviously this big one is what I noticed first. Because at first I was just looking at where it flips from orange to blue. And I was like, oh shit, this thing made higher lows the whole time the price is making lower lows all the way until the point that it flipped right here and flipped bullish, and then that was the macro reversal. So I was like, okay, so how could I make like a swing trade off of this? Found that bearish divergence, this is bullish divergence, that bearish, this bullish, and then there wasn't one here, unfortunately, at the macro bottom, but this whole fucking thing was, like that whole thing was just one big divergence until it reversed. So now I'm looking, okay, this is a higher low. You could have shorted that, or you could have at least sold and then bought back here. When the oscillator flipped back into the blue. Like you could have sold here and then bought back right here or right here, and you would have had a bigger bag. And then, maybe look for a sell up here or further up, like if it does keep going. But I don't know. I'm looking for this now. I'm looking to see if this plays out, because we are making higher highs, and then could very well it's already made a lower high on the oscillator. So I'm wondering if this divergence here is gonna play out when we come down.
I don't know.
So yeah, anyway.
All I know is Rune is going up.
Let's go.
Clive's
So I
getting
thought-
clapped on that GME short.
Is he? Hey,
Gotta
Clyde,
be. Yeah, it's up
Yeah.
26% now.
if you got any more room for oscillators, I would use this one here, this polyfactor one with it's also another Lux Algo, that clustering oscillator. So AI super trend.
I'm trying to add 2 indicators a day until I'm gonna.
There you go. AI super trend clustering oscillator. Yeah, that one.
I'd like to see if I can get my chart a little bit peachier.
What the hell?
I'd change the colors to the same ones as the indicator above. So I would take like the blue and make that green, and take the red and make that like a darker red. But this kind
Is
of
this
gives
the
you
one
like,
you're talking about?
yeah, that gives you like a second set of eyes as far as what the trend is going to give you. Because you can see like the as we're coming down on the daily, the oscillator above is still under that center line, and this one's kind of, the one below is still above it, or chopping above it here and there. Oh shit, you put it right on top of each other.
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, that's dope too.
So where do they follow each other, or one does something different?
Yeah, they don't necessarily follow each other. Like if you look at some of the areas where, like I guess the consensus line, that white line, when it dips below the center line, like they don't do it at the same exact time. It just gives you that added confluence of, if they're all pointing, if like these two are saying it's go time, then that's when you maybe can look for taking along. And when they're, if one is giving you a bullish signal but the other one isn't, then that's kind of giving you like the red light, like hold up, don't go in there just yet.
Don't do it. He wasn't
Don't do
ready.
it.
What's it say about Rune?
Oh, let's look at Rune.
Yeah, because look, these are like way when it was in the blue, like way popping off. It's like, okay, that's the bull market. Everything's overvalued. And then when it's undervalued, you're in the red and like below the zero line.
Mm-hmm. So Rune would have told me to buy, let's see, because I got to wait for the second candle to close. I would have got in Rune at 635. And I still would have been in that trade, because this fucking trailing stop with this super trend is all the way down at 620.
Those are cursed numbers, Trago. 630.
So the target for this one would be 652. Let's just say 653 for a 1-to-1. So you're either going to lose 2.5% or gain 2.5% on this trade, and it's already in your favor.
Do you want to see that strategy that I was working with?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, appreciate that though. I didn't see the divergences. I guess I wasn't looking that far out.
That's pretty cool though, right? That's just
Oh,
on
yeah.
the daily. I mean, I'm sure they show up like on the smaller time frames too, but that's just on the daily. So, I mean, that might be something that's worth keeping an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the chart. Oh shit, you know what? I don't think that I can even show you because I think I had it. I think it's on my exchange chart, on my trading view chart. What the fuck was I doing over here? All
Well,
these lines and shit. Let me see if I can find it. There's so many lines on here. I think. Where were the trades? Yeah, I might have to. Oh, this is all messed up too. Yeah, I might have to just fucking go through it if I can get my exchange chart up because I had them all recorded, but they were on a different chart with a different like layout and setup. What the hell happened to this thing? What is going on here? Is that wave trend oscillator thing? I don't know what's in here now. Here, I'll hide those for now. And then just try to show this is like the basic version of it, I guess. Try to do some trades, plot some trades out on this, just random area. So, because this isn't going to be like exactly what I was trading, but at least you'll get an idea of like what I'm working with, kind of. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have. I wish that I had like support. I mean, let's do it like where I have some like support and resistance lines. Fuck. This is gonna be so difficult to try to get across, but here, I'll try. So right here I've got the MACD, and down here I've got the stochastic RSI and the regular RSI. And the regular RSI has a three moving average and a 7 moving average. And then I also got the divergence indicator. But you don't absolutely need that for the strategy, so I'm just gonna hide that here. Oh fuck, what did I do? Why is that not hiding itself? All right, there we go. That just cleans it up a little bit. So let me plot out a few here. All right, so I'm looking for preferably the RSI, the regular RSI, to be at 30 or below. And this moving average on the chart here, let me make this a little bit. This is going to be such a shitty presentation because I don't have anything prepared. What the hell? All right, so yeah, this yellow line, or this yellow fucking moving average is just the 3 moving average. So here, I'm just
What's going on, Donnie?
What's happening?
Not much. Get started in just a second. People start showing up. It might take about 10, 15 minutes.
I figured as much.
What's up, Smoke Monkey? Good morning.
Good morning.
How the hell are you, brother?
Doing all right. Been checking out the couple things you showed me yesterday, and I'm kind of digging it. So,
Well, I have something kind of special in store for you. I brought a friend in, and it's a friend that I've kind of talked about with you in previous workshops. But with your particular interest in bots, I wanted to introduce Donnie to you. Donnie runs a server, and we met in one of the other servers, but he's got a server, and what he's doing is kind of cool. There's a way to pay into getting access to some very in-depth Gann Fan charting, and it's a neat little thing. I've messed around with Gann Fan, and every single kind of tree of crypto is has its own little rabbit hole you can spin down, and his is very different than my rabbit hole. But it's kind of neat too, just because what's it called? I'd like to use it in confluence with some of the trading that I've done and some of the stuff that I've talked about before. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to show, to show you guys that there are different different strategies and different styles of trading that can be so vastly different, and each with its own crazy little rabbit hole to go down. So that's kind of the point of what I wanted to do. Before I do that, though, I have to get something out of the way real quick. I got to do the disclaimers and stuff. So give me 1 minute. Okay, so here's my disclaimer. Right. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to brass tacks, because what we're serving up here is it's not. Your mic's open, Donnie. So this is not financial advice. This is the kind of wisdom that's been aged like fine scotch. But you don't have to take it neat. Mix it, stir it. But remember, you're the one holding the glass. Trading cryptocurrency, it's like wrestling a bear. It's exciting. It's adrenaline pumping, but it's not for the faint of heart. You step into that ring and you're on your own, my friend. The bear and the market. They don't play by the rules. They don't care about your feelings. Now, you might feel some hotshot YouTuber or Twitter oracle claiming that they've got the magic formula, like they've lost or found the lost city of El Dorado. But here's the nugget of truth. Don't just follow them into the jungle. Those paths are littered with traps. Be the explorer. Be the trailblazer. Vet your trades like a spy scrutinizes a dossier. This is education with a side of entertainment, and I'm the guy that brings the fireworks, and so is Donnie. But it's up to you to light the fuse. Think of this as your training montage in a blockbuster movie. It's up to you to be the hero in your climax. So grab your charts, your indicators, and a dash of courage. Embark on this journey with the spirit of a lion and the wisdom of a sage. I've always wanted to do that. Anyway, so here we go. That was my crazy, trying to make a stupid-ass legal disclaimer fun. So anyway,
Good. Very nice.
Point B, here we go. So I wanted to, we've talked about a lot of different things, but I like I said, most importantly, wanted to kind of let Donnie talk about some of the basics of the, of some of the bot work that he's done. But it might be a good idea if you guys introduce yourselves to him and let him know just a little bit of background about experience you have with bots, what you know about them, what you think you might want to, what you think might want to be kind of a nice a path or discovery into the bot world for you. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'm Smoke Monkey. Try not to use our real name. Me and Jeffy actually got into crypto with mining. So we were mining GPUs and stuff back in, up until it became worthless. I'm also a programmer, so I've been I mainly program standalone devices, not computer programs. So like pies, things like that, I guess you could say, things that you would turn into products. I have a lot of experience with sensor data, stuff like that. So I've been looking at things and trying, and I understand some of the math stuff that's going into a lot of these indicators. And right now I'm understanding them, and I'm trying to figure out how to combine a couple of them into a path that I like. But then ultimately the goal is to get into bots. I have already started messing with the very simple ladder bots, but I mean, like, that's just the one they use to get you started, right? But yeah.
So you would have your teams then, right? Your team.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you understand highs and lows, right? You understand the swings in the market. Great starting point, right? So you got a general idea of what the market does. The one thing that when you explain bots to people, whether you're looking at a DCA bot, a quantitative trading bot, or a grid style ladder, which you call bot, is the understanding that there's a point to start and a point to stop. Can you let it run forever? Sure you can. Is it going to run out of range? Absolutely. It's going to happen if you don't take control and pay attention to the bot that you're using. The next thing would be the amount of money that you put into a bot, making it worthwhile. If you've got a target of X amount and you're not meeting that with that bot, understanding grid patterns, that there's thousands of bots. Taking I say thousands. I was working for a company not too long ago where I set up bots daily, and I would do anywhere from 150 to 250 grid bots a day, and whether it be on Bitcoin only, there were customers that were only wanted, they were hell bent on having Chainlink, but all through the thousands of coins that are out there, for the most part, we stayed in the top 100 coins. But the biggest thing that I seen with failure was that people, assumed that you were going to get rich in a week or two off of a bot, and it's just not happening. Whether you use a grid bot, a DCA bot, or a quant bot, either direction that you go, you need to understand risk management. In my opinion, I could be very conservative with a grid bot, but I'm not going to make as much money with it when I'm that conservative. I can be very, very conservative with a DCA bot using martingale strategy, which is each time you DCA in, you're doubling the amount of money that you put in, and then your take profit goal will be met much faster when it does reach its bottom, right?
You may need to explain DCA.
The dollar cost average bot. So, you mind if I share my screen, sir?
Yeah. And let me know if you want me, because this is on YouTube and a couple of other different channels. If you'd like, I can share your screen as well, but I would prefer not to, just because I don't want to, do the sensitive data thing on accident.
Right. That'd be perfect. So, what I'm going to share, I'm just going to do it on a trade view screen, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go to the bots unless they want to see the bots.
All right.
And what I'll do is I'll stream just a random chart, something that's not built or anything like that, so it's not got any user lines on it. If I've got one, we'll go. That's pretty simple.
Hey, Jules, what's his name?
This is Donnie.
Donnie. Okay. Talk about time reading it. Okay. Yeah, Donnie, I really appreciate you showing us, because Oak Monkey and I are really talking about this is the direction that we want to go. So I really appreciate you sharing this information.
Hey,
I'm really looking forward. Yeah.
I was excited when Jules came over and asked, did I mind showing you guys what I do?
Awesome.
And by the way, Donnie, if I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about your server and what you guys do on it too, but at any time, feel free to do that too, because he has a nice little thing going on where he has a team of people that are kind of working together on a particular strategy, and he'll show you that later on too, just to give you an idea about how that all works. But Donnie, yeah, you have feel free to plug whatever it is that you do any way that you can.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll do that when we finish up. Sorry guys, just setting up some stuff here for you. So just so y'all can see a reference here, what I'm talking about with martingale and DCA. Is that easily readable there on the screen when I've got set up there now?
I see it good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say I'm doing a DCA bot, right? And I'm using a QFL style buy-in, right? So I got my order to
Explain
buy.
QFL real quick. Sorry.
So it's different indicators have different styles of QFL. So whenever a price falls a certain percentage, and then it finds the rapid volume increase in the downward position, and then when it finds a stall point, that's where it sees a signal to buy. So it's going to find a rapid fall. So like when you see these candles, the QFL is going to start paying attention once it reaches a certain point, and it's going to say, okay, we're going to enter this trade here, and then that's going to initiate your order for you to go into the market. And then once you're in the trade, the DCA, if you got a DCA bot set up, so what would happen is, let's say I went in with $100 there, right? And then, but the price continues to fall and it goes down 1.5%. So then it's going to buy, the way I run the martingale is you double your initial order of 100, and that'll be at 1.5%. So then my take profit at 0.85% now comes down to there. Then let's say the price falls even worse. Now you're at $400. And so you just bought 100, now you got 300, now you're going to have $700 worth of algo. But guess what? Your take profit just follows you down. It's never out of reach. So, and that, you can do this as far as you want to go. And, you know, you got to decide how much money you want to put towards said trade. You know, if you wanted to only do, you know, X amount and say, all right, that's enough, I'm gonna stop loss it after that, you can do that as well. You know, there's many different ways, but the purpose of the DCA is to get in the trade, get out of the trade. That's why, you know, most of the strategies on DCA are very short-lived plays. You can do long DCA strategies, but that's a whole nother game plan where you're looking at, you know, buy low, sell high. You're using a long time strategy, and unfortunately, it's a trial by error. You know, you've got to play it in order to see whatever system, whatever indicator you're using. In past, what I've used indicators as my buy signals, and some of them are pretty good, you know. But what I found that worked best was not using indicators, using entries on either volume or using entries on something like a QFL style price drop X amount of percent, and then it initiates the buy. I've been way more successful with that than I have with trying to use an indicator and it put me in, and then I wind up hitting X amount of DCAs and then going to take profit. The good thing is when you go down, you know, when you buy $100 worth of algo and then you go to 0.85, you're not making that much money, you know, a couple of cents, right? A few cents, 25, 30 cents. But if you're doing it with $800, if you fell all the way down through and you're down here and you've got $1,200 at a 0.85, your profit margin is going to be a lot bigger. So the DCA is a good thing. And a lot of people freak out whenever they see this taking place and they're like, oh my God, it's down X percent, 15%. No, it's not. Because as soon as it bounces, guess what? You're out. You just made profit. As soon as it finds that reversal candle right here, and poof, you're out. It's you know, I've got a bot right now that's been working phenomenally. I'm testing All Trading Exchange, and I've been testing it for about a month and a half now. And this bot is, I don't know if I should even say, but this bot has made 118 trades now. I've made 118 trades. Am I allowed to say this?
I
Jules?
don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't think that. Yeah, you can talk about anything you want to. No rules
All right.
as far as I'm concerned. I won't censor you.
All right, so this bot has made 118 trades, and right now I'm still at 100% win rate, and it is using the QFL style signals. It is not QFL that you would see on TradingView. It's a signal that's set up through AllTrade's account. And what I love about AllTrade is they break it down for you so you know. So like with no DCAs, that bot 37% of my P&L one was from no DCA. So it took the order and went and took profit. 56% of my P&L was from one DCA. 3.21% was from two DCAs. And only 2.82% was from three DCAs. So I don't, the price doesn't go down there that often to get those lower DCAs, but I'm protected. It's a really conservative setup, and it protects you from those, quick pullbacks, and you're able to make more money off of those quick pullbacks in that martingale style setup. And I'm gonna pause there and see any questions on that.
Now, obviously, okay, so one thing, this is obviously because we've been in a bull market that this works better with you taking longs. Is there, I mean, if it was a bear market in this situation, would you be I mean, would this not work, or would you have just done the opposite with shorts?
So if you're in a situation where you can use that style exchange where you're able to short, you can absolutely go short on the other side with it. There's no doubt. If you're in that situation where you can use that exchange that allows you to do that, sure, you can go short. Another thing you can do is you can still stay long, right? And turn your 0.85 down to like a 0.5. A lot of so these impulse buys, right? When you're going down a chart and it's low in the bag, and then as soon as it rips up, you can take profit. It's all in, the setup of your DCA and how much you're willing to stack into it. If you understand the market and being able to see that, hey, algo fell, 7% on average with these falls, and then it bounces back, 1.2, 1.3%. So I would easily get my 0.5 out of it. So you can do it both ways. Unfortunately, it's like I said, with DCA is you got to try your method. If the style that you're running, is it indicator? Is it, how are you getting in the market? That's going to be totally up to whatever style you're using.
Is there any way to use bots as a hedge against other bots? Well, it's kind of one of the things that I remember Jolt back in the day talking about, how he would have his kind of his bots working against each other, but each one of them kind of in profit all the time.
They're timing, right? So that would, you would be looking at a timing situation, and a sideways market where you got that 2 or 3 weeks of the market's kind of in the range. When you're in a rangy market, that perfect. If you can time it so that you're catching the bottom with your long bot and catching the top with your short bot, sure, you can absolutely do that. I mean, you can double up, and when one's at the bottom, and when your short bot winds up at the bottom in that range, turn it off. When your long bot's at the top, turn it off. You can absolutely you work it just like you was working a trade, but you're taking the emotion out of it because you didn't know exactly where to get in, and then you're relying on the system, and you can set yourself up for better success rates.
So so he mentioned AllTrade. AllTrade is I signed up yesterday, by the way, with Donnie's referral code. And it connects to your exchange, and you can. It has. I mean, I got kind of overwhelmed in the few minutes that I had to really navigate around, because there's a ton of things that they can do. But maybe explain how that works in how you, not exactly how to get your exchanges connected, but how a service like that uses when it comes to putting these bots into place.
So the key to it is. so Smoke was talking about, he's very familiar with all this, so he's going to understand webhooks and all that, right? The key is having fast communication. So when you're doing grid bots and DCA bots on these signals, being able to have fast communication between a API connected setup is key. And one of the things that I was experiencing with some of the other like the platform with 3 commas or BitsGap, some of these other companies, I was having latency issues. And so like when Doge or XRP or one of these coins just absolutely goes violent, right? I was seeing missed trades, several missed trades. And so I'm always on the hunt for a more stable platform, something that's not going to be so flooded, but yet give me good performance. And that's when I stumbled upon all trading. And when I went in and I'm like, what in the world? So I started Googling, searching on YouTube and was able to figure out, how it works, what it does. And now that I'm there, the amount of information is just, like you said, is amazing. It's overwhelming when you first look at it because you don't realize what all's there. But, connecting your exchange with the API keys, if you use Kraken, they do recommend 2 API keys. When you go on to All Trading, they actually have videos and, a web page set up for each exchange that you want to connect, and it tells you step by step how to get it connected and then what to do after that. Grid bots, you can set up grid bots. You can do the DCA bot. You can, and with the different exchanges there, you're going to be able to do your future stuff. The one thing that I've loved about it the most is the information that it gives you from your bots after they've been running. You see them running for a week or two, and you're like, wow, look at this is crazy. And then like they actually have a back test. Like so when you set up a grid bot, they actually have a back test there so that you can check the performance from the history of it to see what it's going to do. And you get a general idea. So you sit there and you can tweak the settings a little bit, work on your grid spacing, and then get it dialed in so that you're making maximum profits with that setup. And then you just launch the bot right from there. Back and it takes off and starts making you money.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because my next question was going to be what kind of platform are you using? The best one I've been seeing around is the 3 commas.
So when you set up a grid bot, they actually
is
have
that the way to go?
So 3 commas is a lot more user friendly. I'll give it that, right? So, and I'm on 3 commas. I have 3 commas. Matter of fact, it's paid for the year. But I was looking for something that was way more in depth and would be faster for me. I was getting too many drop signals. Was my frustration. 3 commas are a lot more signals, and you're not getting the trades after you sit there and waited, several days for a trade to happen and then it don't happen. And you go look and there was a socket error or something like that. I was like, man, 3 commas is big. It's really big. And most people don't understand, like the company that I was working for at the time, they actually use 3 commas and they'll have, one account that I have, 10,000 APIs connected to it. And you yourself know what happens to that server whenever you start loading, 30, 40 accounts like that. It could get a little overwhelming for that server and it gets really laggy at times. And BitsGap's the same way.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, I've seen that problem online. I always look something up, and I always look at what problems people are having with it. And so so thank you for answering that. That was a big for me.
Yeah, and Jules said something. You was talking about maybe trying to build your own bot. And there's several people out there that that have come up, wrote their own code, got their own setup running. The thing you got to look at is you know how to do it, but then you got to work with a WebSocket, right? So you've got to find some way to connect APIs, right? So you're paying for another subscription to that, and then you're paying for your trading view because you got to have your WebSocket information coming from trading view, assuming that's where you're going to get your information from, right? So one way or another, you're going to spend, anywhere from 50 to $100 a month. It's a lot nicer to just use a platform that's already set up. And AllTrading, with the amount of information they have that they give you with that, it's just, it's above and beyond what Three Commas ever was putting out.
Yeah, last night I discovered if I'm trying to use TradingView as for the signal to buy and sell, if you're doing high frequency trading or bot trading, it's going to miss a lot, just based on what I've been reading. But if you're just using it for standard buys and sells, then it's fine. But so that's why I was looking for a new platform.
Yeah, Jules, you care if I put my link in?
No, go right ahead.
Yeah, please. If you have a link and you can get some sort of like credit or whatever, I'll definitely use that.
Well, it helps us all because we all will get discount. The more people we get signed up, right? We all get discount. That's the way they work. I don't make anything off of it. We just all get discount.
Fantastic. Yeah,
how much is that a month? Sorry.
I'm looking at it right now. There's a free version I'm going to jump on definitely today and try it out. But then the basics at 18 euros.
Yeah. So like I just paid for the premium, and it was 591 US. It was what I paid for the year of service, and I just dropped that link in general there. I don't know if he has a room for that. But if you click that link, it'll take you over, and they've got the 14-day free trial, which is going to put you on, pick the premium, just so you can see all of it in action. The cool part about that site, even if you go away, you can do free paper trading over there.
Fantastic.
But it's a great avenue, and there's a few videos on AllTrading. The cool part about AllTrading is once you can download it as a desktop app, and once you get it, they've got a crypto school where if you don't know anything about crypto, you can learn everything you need to know and start with paper trading and work your way into actually trading through their school that they got on there. It's pretty cool. I like the way they've got it set up and actually help people go in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to. I saw their little training section after we spoke yesterday, and definitely going to spend some time in there. It sounds like something that they have quite the library of video instructions, and to help you kind of walk you through these things and understand them.
Yeah, and even connecting exchanges. I wasn't aware of the way Kraken works. You have to use 2 APIs. You don't have to use it, but it gets you more information faster. And so I did that, and the crypto scanner worked twice as fast. So they've got a scanner over there on AllTrading that you can set up for your signals. So like, say you wanted to trade a 5-minute, 3-minute drop. Anything that dropped in 3 minutes, boom, it's going to buy. You set it up, then buy right off of that scanner. Another cool feature that they have is one-click buys. So if you go to the section where it's the trade terminal, you can actually go in, and there's a video that shows you how to do it. But say you wanted to do a ladder buy, you wanted to buy, algo, and you wanted to set it up as a ladder buy, but the price takes off. You can already have ladder take profits. You can have a single take profit. You can have a trailing stop loss. You can set everything up in one click. And so let's say you on this one click setup, you wanted to buy on last price. You can do bid, ask, or last. You can set it all up, and then you can have a hotkey on your keyboard, hit that key, and it instantly throw that trade in the market. And I've used that on several occasions, and let that trailing stop loss, follow something up the chart, just the other day, I did it on a random coin that I seen bouncing, and it was part of that Moon City stuff. What was it, MIR? Was it MIR? Yeah, MIR. And I hit 24.5% because of a trailing stop loss. I mean, I was like, that's beautiful. Love it. Perfect.
Oh.
And there's a lot of other features there that you can take advantage of. And the best part, like I said, there is a video for every question that you're going to have. And here's the coolest part. If you go to contact them, like the guy that I talk to, I talk to the same dude almost every time. His name's Timothy. They are so helpful. I mean, they'll shoot you a link. They'll ask your permission. They'll say, all right, we'll see what you've done. You click this wrong. You need to go back and click this, and that'll fix this. And they don't ever, put you in a situation. They try to give you information so that you can see how to do it again. How to fix something. They'll give you links and they show you pictures. They're really good about their customer service. They respond really fast too, normally within a minute.
Oh, that's cool.
So do you stick to the four major bots that I shouldn't say four major. Do you stick to signal bots, grid bots, and DCA bots?
Pretty much. Right now I do. I was using another platform for quantitative trading. So the Trimpy was a great one, and I don't know what happened to them, why they went away. I don't. They never gave an answer of what happened while they were closing the doors. But man, it worked great. It done what it was supposed to do. It bought, it sold, and I don't get it. Nobody knows what happened, but because of being able to control my risk with the grid bots, I'm able to control my risk a little better. And so if I know, like I do a certain setup, like I haven't talked to Jules about this, but like, so if I know that price is going to come down and I'm chasing a floor, I'm the type that will buy Bitcoin. I will have Bitcoin that I bought at, a certain price, but I know that the Bitcoin, Solano pairing is dropping. So I'll put a grid bot on that and let it drop just so I can buy more Solana because I know it's about to hit a floor and take off. And then I'll turn that bot off and then hold my Solana and then wait on it to go up and sell it. Just another thing that I do. I mean, because I chase Bitcoin pairs just like I chase, a USD or USDT pair.
So you're talking about not transferring it back to a stable coin, but you're talking about going from a Bitcoin directly to Solana, trading one coin for another.
Correct. So
I never even considered that. Oh God.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, if you had $10 worth of Bitcoin versus 10 USD, if you go look at the chart, a lot of times you can buy more Solana with that $10 worth of Bitcoin than you can with $10 USD. And if you're trying to accumulate coins on the downside, so like, that last, 15% down on that last little drop we done after that 24-8 move, I was waiting on it. That's what I was chewing it up. I had 8 bots running with just Bitcoin pairs. And when the price went up, of course I gained Bitcoin. But when the price went down, I was gaining more of that coin because I was doing XLM, XRP, I was doing Chainlink, Polkadot, Kusama, Quant. I was doing all your major players, right? And I was gaining those coins as they went down on the BTC pairing. And when the price went up, I was gaining more Bitcoin. I wasn't losing. When I got to the bottom, I turned the bots off, get the coins, and wait on price to go up. Now I'm starting to take profits. I took profits on Chainlink. I took profits on Quant. I took profits on some of my Bitcoin. So it's just a long learning game, right? Learning how to use the system, and you can use it both ways. Up, down, and your risk management is more easily controlled through grid. But at the same time, you can be really conservative with your DCA bot if you implement a true DCA style setup. Whether you do the martingale or whether you just do $100, $100, $100, $100, you got to understand that your take profit needs to be met in order to close that trade. So whether you do martingale or whether you just do a standard buy-in or whether you do a two buys, $100 and $1,000, however you do it, you need to understand if you don't have a sell signal that you need to understand where your take profit needs to be. And most signals that run off the 1 hour chart or less. So if you work under the 1 hour time frame, most of those signals you're going to want to take profit under 1%. After that, when you start getting into the dailies, you're looking at a 2 to 5%, depending on what asset you're trading. When you get into the weeklies, then you start looking at that 5 to 10% range. You got to really start paying attention, and that's where you got to, trial by error, figure out what assets are going to work with what signals in that big of a time frame. So the next question is to say, a lot of people say, well, I want to see a lot of trades every day. Are you that kind of guy? You want to see a bunch of trades every day?
No, probably the opposite. I just like to see returns, not necessarily trades.
Well, I think that one of the benefits to the bots too is that you can set these up on smaller time frames so that you, Donnie, I'm assuming is about to explain that, if you do like to see a lot of trades, maybe there's a trading style for it.
Exactly. So you could do like a rapid fire style bot, like he was talking about. And when I say rapid fire, you're trading on a 3 to 5 minute time frame, and you're doing really small buys or really, really decent sized buys with really small take profits, but it's going to buy a lot. You're looking at some of these assets and they're moving fast enough, like FET. FET has been really rocking and rolling here past few weeks. My grid bot on FET, I think in 7 days, it's done 238 trades in 7 days, and that's on a grid bot. So you could set up a rapid fire DCA bot that's just sitting there eating over and over again, or you can be more conservative. Like I said, you can drive the boat however you want. You can go in rough waters, or you can stay in the nice calm pond. And another thing you asked, Jules, was some people look at the fact of setting up grid bots as you're leaving money on the table, and depends on how you set them up too, right? You want to look at your buy and hold versus an asset that's moving sideways and up, right, or sideways and down at an angle a little bit, and then starts to go up. So starting these bots at proper times, if you start a grid bot in the top of the range, then you're going to go negative, right? There's no two ways about it. So you can either do one of two things. You can buy the bot down and keep buying until you find the floor. And then as it comes back out, that's when you start to see profits. But you got to come back out of that range again. So there's a lot more to a bot than just turning it on and walking away. You actually, if you've got a little bit of sense and say, all right, this is bottom, I feel like this is where I want to be. This is where I want to start my bot. Then that's where you go. Then you got to figure out how much buffer you want. So, when you build a grid bot, let me get my 3 comments logged in here.
Yeah, one of the things that I was looking at doing the daily trades, I was trying to do daily trades on Bitcoin or Ethereum, and I still have all my stuff on Coinbase, but when you transfer your money from Bitcoin to back to your dollars, whatever, the fees were like 1.5%, and that's one of the things that's kind of keeping me from doing the day trades. Is I got to look at long-term trades that can do, hopefully 5 to 7% per month or something like that. Obviously, I would like more, but that's one of the things that kind of kept me away from doing the day trading. But still, I'm just getting into this. I'm into the day trading aspect. I've had crypto and I've held it for like 2 years up to this point. But that's one of my problems.
So let me get this set up right here, and I'll show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch screens right here. You should be able to see my 3 comma screen right now.
No, we're just seeing your trading view screen.
It didn't switch.
No.
So I'm gonna stop streaming and restart the stream. This happened to me the other day whenever I was doing that. When I switched. Sorry about that. 3 commas should be streaming now.
Yeah, you're good, and you are broadcasting too. So I'll try and keep you safe too if I can.
I've got this shut down. You don't have to worry about it. You're good.
Okay.
So this is what I was talking about when it comes to. Let me get rid of all this crap first. So with setting up a bot, would you got to look at where you're at in the chart. I mean, that's you see this price is going up. So let's say we were looking at this being a bottom, and this is what I was talking about. Setting yourself up to the bottom side. Like as soon as you come into this setup, they're already showing you, hey, this is the top side, this is your bottom side. Generally, to protect yourself, most people will set up at minimum 20% underneath the asset. And then when you're figuring out what amount of money that you're going to put in it, you got to, and you're setting up your, let me get this set up. So if you were looking at this chart, right, and then you were looking at your high, everybody's screaming, hey, we're turning around at 42,000. So you set a range from your low at 30,000 up to 42,000. You see that you're in the middle of the range. You can control, like you were just asking about, the amount of trades, right? So you can control that by simply changing your levels. So right now with 22 grids, you're at a 1.5%. So what if we just put 5 grids in it? We're looking at an 8% step, right? I mean, so you're going to buy down if you would buy on the way down, right? Or sell on the way up. So you said, 1%. Most people will do something like that. So about every 0.5%. So if I go in on a smaller time frame here, so if I zoom in on a smaller time frame here with 61 levels right there in that price range that I just set up, I would have been buying down to these levels. So every time it crosses one of these lines, it's going to buy Bitcoin. So, then it's going to come back up and it'll sell at these levels. Then come back down and buy that level, then come back up, sell that level, buy that level, sell that level, sell that level, buy that level, all the way through. So you get the idea, right? And so when you're zoomed in, then you can see what that's doing. So every time, that's where you got to do your math homework on if this bot was making this much every day. Generally, I don't trade Bitcoin on a grid bot because unless you're throwing a big wad of paper at it, it's not profitable. You can't see the money that you would see from the smaller cap coins. It's way more profitable, on the smaller cap stuff because you could do it. It don't take as much to move them, right? So if you were using that grid setup right there at 0.52, well, let's just back test it and see.
Well, you're talking about gas fees, right? Or like fees for per transaction.
Per transaction. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, and what exchange do you use?
Right now I'm using Fomex.
So if the grid that I've got set up right now, the way it's set up for the last 120 days, it would be 15.16%. It would have made 700 trades.
Okay. So then really the goal is before you do any individual coin, you want to make sure that the gas price isn't over your profit per level, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't. You're going to pay exchange fees, right? Because I mean, that's all you're paying is your exchange fees. And
I'm sorry, I was saying gas, but you're right. It should be the exchange fees.
yeah, and they figure that into this when you connect your exchange, whether you're using 3 commas or all trading, your fees are figuring in. So whenever you do that back test, that's already assuming your fees.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, on Bitcoin right there, if you'd have run Bitcoin for the last 120 days in that range, like I just set up, you're looking at 5% a month, and you didn't do anything but turn the bot on. All right. So I'm gonna show you this. Watch this. So we took it down and we cut the trades down from 61 to 25. Let's see what the back test shows on that. Look at there, 16.9%. We gained 1.7% just by taking those trades down to 25. And that's where I was saying, it's important to run back tests before you just hit go, right? All because you see an aggressive number, sit there and play with your numbers if you're going to do these grid bots so that you can get the max performance, something heavy like that. Let's see if I could do it with.
Now, if you backtest that one, it's probably not going to prove very good because it goes below the grid.
Exactly. So that's why I wanted to show you. That's exactly what I wanted you to see right there.
Sorry, I jumped you.
All right. So just in that range, look at that number. You see that number?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's using lighter weight coins, right? So let's figure on this. So what we want to do here. Why is it taking so long? Oh, they won't even let me do it no more. I used to be able to do that, to be able to do the back test through that area. So you see how volatile that is compared to Bitcoin, right? And the amount of wicks and the amount of push up now. So that's why I very rarely trade Bitcoin whenever I'm doing, especially grid bots. DCA bot, that you're swinging pretty heavy and you're doing pretty decent sized bags and you're looking for a weekly signal or a daily signal. Totally different ballgame, right? Because then you can use that QFL signal or volume signal, whatever signal you're using to buy. Then, if you're not home, you're not at a computer, that DCA bot's going to pick that buy up for you. And then you don't even have to set a take profit. You can have a stop loss set or, a trailing stop loss, and then just wait on the trade to happen and you close the trade whenever you want. It'd be more of a type to fix you. But using lighter weight coins in these grid bots can be very, very profitable. You go in, catch them at the bottoms, set them up, shut them off at the tops, and you don't even have to be there trading. It just trades all day without you being there. And the amount of money that you're going to make with fees, my worst bot I think is at 14% in 2 weeks. That's my worst grid bot right now, and I think that one is actually on XRP. But that's XRP is my worst performing grid bot right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean Doge is killing it. My Quant bot's killing it. My FET bot done really well. My ARP bot's done really well. But notice those are all lightweights. Quant's being my heaviest one, but Quant's also one of those coins. Once it gets above that $100, it likes to do that big candle thing and then pull back and do another big candle. So that's why I've always kept a Quant bot because it performs well. But finding the stuff that you like to trade, it's just a game. What works best for you. If you like the numbers that you're seeing, and the amount of money that you want to put in it. I tell people all the time, if you're trying to go at a grid bot and throw less than $100 at it, you're not going to make no money. We used to get customers come in with $1,000 account and they want us to set up 10 grid bots, and it's like, you'll get 2. You said 2, not 10, right? They're like, no, 10, no, 2. Because it's hard to get your grids and be able to make money, because you got to remember every grid that you put in there. So if you got $10,000 and you got 10 grids, how many sales buys and sales did you create? So each one of those grids is created for that money, right? So those buys and sales are split up between those 10 grids. So you got to keep that in mind as well. How much money will you make? And that'll help you through the back test, right? So are you going to make more money than buy and hold? Absolutely. You know, because it's going to buy when you wouldn't buy, and it's going to sell when you wouldn't sell. And I want to stay on top of that in an up market, going in an up market, sideways market, you're going to be better off. But falling market, falling sideways, you can still make money, but it takes longer period of time. In a complete down market, none of them are good.
That was going to be my next question. So you're saying in a falling market, none of the bots do very well?
So if you were set up and you knew how to short, you can do that. You can do the falling market. And I'll let Jules explain that.
Well, that makes sense. So you're saying that you can bot shorts?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a story for another day. We'll come back to that some other time.
There you go. When he's not got me live on YouTube. I didn't read his disclaimer.
So
one thing.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Debbie.
Sorry, Jules. One of the things I wanted to figure out was how were you able to check your risk management? Are you able to document your risk, like while you're setting up all these bots? Donnie?
Well, I do it. I keep a personal journal, like, you know, so everything that I do, like I keep a notebook here and I write down everything I do. Right. So that's how I keep track of it. Over on All Trading, you know, they have a better setup of actually seeing what you're doing and how much you've got invested. And, you know, they've actually, like, when you look at their setup, when you go search, like with the crypto scanner, it'll tell you what the signal rate is. Is it a 3 out of 3? Is it a 5 out of 5? How many times that trade has been successful? That's something that crypto scanner will actually tell you. So not only are you getting the information on your setup, but you're also getting the information on performance. And then on the aftermath, after you've completed the trades, you know, you've got a complete breakdown of how that trade took place.
Okay, nice. I like that. Thank you.
I've used Gann Fan trading in the past, but not to the level that that Donnie has. And he was showing me some tricks with the Gann Fan that I just thought would be really cool to kind of show off, because, you know, we've talked about how just the geometry of the charts really does affect, or how price we've talked about how you can see that price really is affected by the geometry of the charts, but the Gann Fan really does have some interesting ways of predicting future movement that I thought Donnie would have a kick at, and I thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing how he does it.
Oh boy, on the spot. Here we go.
Well, it was just fun, you know, watching you set those things up and then see, you know, I was almost thinking it'd be fun to go back in time a little bit and set one up so that you can almost play in real time how the trade would play out, or not a trade, but I mean how the price action would play out.
Okay, sure.
You got to go back to TradingView, I think, though.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to switch right now.
So what's this Gann Fan?
Gann Fan, yeah, it's a tool in TradingView. Let me see, I'll find it real quick. I've used it a couple times. I know how to. I mean, the way he sets them up real quick. The way I used to do it, I had to you know, make sure the chart was spread out at the right angles and all this stuff. But he's got a really cool way of doing it, and he knows some kind of shortcuts and tips and tricks that I think were kind of kind of fun to watch him play because you know, the stuff that I was doing would take so long, and he was putting these things together in minutes too. And I know that a lot of his his presets are, you know, customized, kind of like I walked you guys through some of the retracement tools and you know, how to get the numbers right for, you know, for the certain expected like retracements. He's done the same thing with his tools too, and it's kind of cool to see it. But that's something that he does in his group, and you know, he has a team of Gann fanners that are you know, putting these charts together, and it's kind of fun to watch.
All right, sounds fun.
So I'm gonna go. Hate to take this. Let's go. Let's go with. Let's find something fun. Something hard. Let's find something hard. Have I done one on? No. Good. We'll do XLM. So I know Max is here. He's seen me go through this. He's actually a fan of Gann, however you want to call it.
I've heard the proper pronunciation is Gann Fan, but it seems to me easier to say Gann Fan. I don't know.
So some of the stuff that, you know, there's when, you know, in the beginning he was talking about rabbit holes. So when you look into WD Gann and the way he done things, so like there's Ganzilla, which is a circle chart, and I'm assuming y'all can see my trading view now. Did it switch?
Yeah, yes. You can see it.
Okay, so there's a circle chart that I'll show you in a moment. That you can actually just use that on the square of 9. One of the setups that I'm going to show you right now is something that we do in my group, and I put these charts behind a paywall just because I don't want people, you know, thinking my work. You know, it's not fair that we do all the research and homework and nobody comes and helps, you know. So I put them behind a paywall. I'm greedy like that. So first thing I do when I go here is now establish a low. You know, so I look back at XLM and, you know, back in 20, we had a big low back here. You know, but I look back up here and I've got a low here. And I could use either one, right? Which one's going to be more practical for today's use? So I'm going to use the mean low just to show you. We'll do, let's do the one.
It might help too if you turn the resolution up just a hair on your Discord stream. It seems like you're a little bit pixelated. Maybe you know, I mean, I don't think these charts are all that graphically heavy.
Yeah, you're adding lines, but I can't see any of them.
I'm wide open.
Let's see, maybe it's me.
Yeah, I'm wide open, buddy. You know, and you know, it's funny because the other day, or actually today, Crazy was having a hard time.
Yeah, it's not terrible though. I just figured it would help a little bit if it was a little more crisp, but maybe there's maybe there's nothing that can be done.
So I'm going to set it up like this. I'm going to do a future. So one of the things we've learned in working on cycles, right? So March 21st. So if we go back to March 21st of 23, and we put a line there, right? We've got our low established. We know where our low is. So then from there, I want to be able to see where this market is going to go, because I've got my low. I've got March 21st. And then I'm going to use my Gann square. So the thing with Gann's, Gann, you notice it's part of a circle. So if you stopped at 360 degrees right there, and I went back to the other side and built underneath it, I'd have a complete circle, right? But we're looking at time through time. So we just, on a daily chart, we just built 360 days. But if we go in and we read about W. Gann, we understand that 3 years is actually the better correlation. So, and it actually works out to be 2.946. So when you go out 3 years times 360, you go to 1080. All right. Oh, this is fun. Then the next part of, oh, here's what I was talking about earlier, Jules. You see how we got a 0009? We've got to make that a 1. So we either lose a 0 or we take this all the way back down to a 1. So it would be 3 zeros and a 1, or we move it up to 2 zeros and a 1. And if you're future forecasting, you already see that your future forecasting is at $1.04 now. So just for fun, let's just see what happens if I move it up and do the layout. So $1.10. So then from there, we're going to grab our Gann box and do an overlay, because now we've got a 1-to-1 ratio on the 1080. And then that is the start of when you go in and start reading on WD Gann, you'll understand that this is the start of the square of 36 chart. So then when you go inside and look at it, you see how price follows these coordinates, and it uses all those channels. and where it is in timing versus some of the other stuff. So like if you go to Bitcoin right here's a Bitcoin chart that's been built. And you can see how it just walks. You see how vertical timings line up. You see how it bounces these channels, big moves, gets rejected, catches the channel, moves up, gets rejected off the channel, gets rejected, sitting outside the circle now.
Yeah, so for it to have advanced past the circle, what does that tell you?
That you're in a strong move. So you're above one of the majors here, which is your 1 to 4, and this is your 1 to 1, right? Your major line is your 1 to 1. That is like if you're above that, you're majorly bullish. Anytime you're in that, but anytime you're above these stronger lines, so if you're working this trend, so you're stronger than you were here, but you're not as strong as if you would be up here. So each one of these is like a strength band, but they give you a point of contact. This is where price and time meet. So if it comes back and touches this fib circle, that's where price and time met. Comes back, that's where price and time met. That's just the way it works back and forth over and over again.
That's fascinating.
So, and y'all seen that I didn't do anything for correlation there. It was all set up, just by math of the 1080 and the 1-to-1 ratio. I did nothing to make anything match, right? It's all part of the math. Any questions?
I have more than I don't know where to start. I'm gonna have to look that up before I start asking dumb questions. Really.
Well, I'm on. If Jules, you don't mind, I'll put my Discord. I'll put an invite to the Discord. And you guys are more than welcome to come in and listen in when we're building this stuff and ask questions and what all like that.
Yeah, you have absolutely. You have my yeah. Go ahead, please do.
Yeah, is there anything that you recommend that we read up on this? The stuff that you're showing?
So you'll find out is and I'm sure Jules will tell you when it comes to these bigger pieces like this, whether it's the Gann or the Elliott wave, you're going to find misleading information. But there's all sorts of videos on YouTube. There's the books. Like I buy my books on Amazon, and one of my favorites that I've been reading is the Observations on W.D. Gann. There's several volumes out there, and that book gets you pointed in the right direction, right? And then as you get into it, you'll find other stuff on the internet, and we've got stuff in our group that links, videos, everything to get you headed in the right direction, so that you can say, all right, I understand this point now. I understand this point, because when you start seeing it correlate with what's happening on, and I'm getting ready to show you that now. Let me get this link for you.
Sorry, a strangely specific question. On the square where it breaks out of the square line, it drops down a whole lot. Is there a reason for that, or is that just my brain?
That's vertical timing.
I'm sorry?
That's called vertical timing. Of those lines that go up and down, that's all part of your vertical timing.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a trippy concept. That's a really trippy concept.
All right, so I don't know if did that show up in there like it's supposed to?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to show you Ganzilla. All right. So keep in mind where the price of Bitcoin is right now. You got that?
Y-
37,800.
All right. I'm gonna show you something. Please tell me it switched screens for you.
It
Yes,
did.
it did.
Y'all ready for this one? So this is called the square of 9. On the square of 9, this is one of the charts that I put in the group that is not shared publicly, and I put it in the behind the paywall section. You come in and I build this chart from a low, like I built this one from 15.5 and in increments of $100. And with the way you lay it out is I've got it following lunar. So I actually need to update it for the guys because I think the last time I updated was 12 o'clock. I did. So I've got it valued at 12 o'clock. I need to change the value right quick. So the moon has moved to 97 degrees, 7 Cancer. So then what that does is my orientation with my square and my triangle that I've got laid out on the chart. They rotate. And when they rotate, it moves these lines. These red lines and green lines will be support and resistance. Okay. And what price are we at right now?
3,708. 37,800.
All right. So we're right here. You notice we're on the edge of the box, of the red box. So we're having a hard time getting through there. We also seen we got support down at 37,300. If you fail the 36,350 ballpark, that's where that support line is. If you fail from here to here, which would be 120 degrees, you'd be at 35.9, and that's your major support. And I update this daily. So you'll be looking at a 38.8 as a major resistance, and then 40,400 as your next major resistance. So if I left from my originating price today, we was working in this ballpark pretty much all morning. We seen a high that was up there at 38.3, and then we've been working in this whole section today. But if we had a breakout, I'd be looking at 38.8, and I'd be looking at 120 degrees would be 40,400.
So what you're saying is you're into voodoo magic Stonehenge stuff.
Jules said it best.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead, say it, Jules.
It works because there's enough people trading on it that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And there's my disclaimer.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
So there's your self-fulfilling prophecy that Jules likes to call it. But is it 100%? It's not 100, but I sure do love it. And that's why it's behind the paywall.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I understand.
I mean, we put a lot of time and effort into understanding how this works, what triangle, square, what numbers to put in. The thing that we're working on right now is to be able to, on a daily or a 4-hour time scale, to have it modified where we could be more advanced in our positions. I'm trying to be as easy with my wording there as possible because you don't want to say I called it.
Honestly, as long as you're not selling anything, but this is fantastic. Confusing, but fantastic.
It is. It's a lot to take in at one time. I mean, and it's like, what do you do? I mean, I unfortunately am on disability, so I'm at home all the time, and so it's good for me to sit here and learn these things. And then I find extreme joy. I'm so excited that Jules invited me in to do this with you guys, to be able to show this to people so that other people can learn it as well. But there are a lot. We've got links, we've got videos, we've got information there to help get you on the way.
Pretty cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, that's very cool. It's very cool. Very overwhelming, but I get after a while that I could use something like this.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm thinking in my head, Smoke knows how to program. I need Smoke to figure out how this program works right here and figure out how to automate my lunar schedule. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He will definitely do that. He'll have
That
to
would
look
be
into
a
that.
fun project. I mean, I'd have to understand the math isn't necessarily a problem, but obviously understanding the factors that you're changing.
Yeah, and like I said, that's all. We've got all the time in the world. All we can do is take our time, work on it. Don't let it get you overwhelmed. Go slow and easy. That's all I do.
But yeah, if I was going to start anywhere, I would start with a Python program, probably.
I wouldn't even know what to tell you what that is. I know I've heard you computer people talk about it, but that's all I can tell you.
Well, it seems like it's majorly a visual basis. I shouldn't say majorly, but I mean, the visual component is a big component for what you're looking at and what you need, the information you need to trade. So you don't want to lose that visual component, but you still want to come out with the hard and soft lines.
Right. So the all this has moving components. So I'm gonna show you this, and then I'm gonna quit sharing it because giving it away. But I'm gonna go through it by daily, right? So you're gonna have you got planet here, you got planet here, you got planet here, coming all the way over 180 degrees. You got planet here, you got planet here, you got a confluence of planets here. So watch as I go through the days. You notice a bunch of red lines started pulling in. You'll see as it cycles, there's all sorts of different positions, and all these planets move, and you get different information daily. You notice how the sun showed up on the chart that day? These are the type of things that we're learning about. What does it mean when that shows up? And that's on December 12th. Well, guess what? One of my vertical lines on my Bitcoin chart is on December 12th. Does that mean we're going to go down December 12th? Does that mean we're going to go up on December 12th? I got to get there and look at it, right? Then everything gets kind of quiet with a bunch of red lines the day after that, right? It gets pretty quiet, things circling around the chart here, not a whole lot. Boom, more lines, green lines across the chart. What's happening? Uh-oh, what's all that? Well, you got Mars all over the chart. So then we have to do research. What does it mean when Mars is in control of our price in the market? You could Google it. I promise you, there is people that talk about all this stuff on Google. They're on YouTube. They've got Twitter pages. We've got our links and stuff where we follow people that do this pretty much their life.
Yeah, it actually sounds like a fun programming project. I can't get into it right now, but it'd definitely be easy to automate the planets, the sun, and the time, so all of that automatically moves for you. But then you would want to take that correlating information, and I'm assuming you'd want to put it onto like a chart, like TradingView.
Well, no, all I want to do is see. I have to move this point at where I've got my triangle and my square set. Let me remove it. So now I don't have a triangle or a square on the chart, right? So if I put my triangle on, then you'll see this is my point. That's my point right there. That's my number one point. If that was automated so that stayed with the moon as I was working that lunar phase, right? And my square is right. and I could set it up so that it stayed paired with the moon in rotation. And because as this rotates, all you're doing is rotating your take profits and or your support and resistance. You're rotating them as you go up the chart. And if you look at a trading view chart and you correlate, all right, so this is support, this is resistance, and then you can look at that during that time frame during the day. And you're like, oh, well, Donnie updated a picture today. Look at there. Then you've got new support, new resistance. Oh, he updated again. Because the moon only moves, so much during the day. We're only going to catch, 15, 20 degrees a day. So we watch that rotation. And then whenever I say, hey, we got Venus showing up 240 degrees, we need to pay attention on this day. And, normally what I do is I'll sit here and I'll go through and in advance, I'm like, look, we got extreme volatility about to happen. I don't know which way it's going. I'm, where you trade it between you and Jesus. I'm not the one to control your trades, but we've got Venus showing up looking like we're going to have a lot of volatility today. We've seen it happen on the 14th. We also seen it happen on the 15th. And we had a lot of stuff show up on the chart and we was able to see what was going on. So we're learning as we go what we're seeing in this chart and how it correlates to what we see on TradingView.
That is
if I can interrupt really quick, the part that rotates, is that the red square that you want to rotate automatically?
Correct.
So how often do you want that to update? Do you want that to be updated a live time?
If it would, that would be amazing. If it could stay in rotation with if I had a choice, I'd want it to rotate with the moon. Just because of what the information that I've learned about it so far, I've been more accurate with what I want to see, as Jewel would say, with the moon.
Okay.
Feel free not to hold on. Sorry. Feel free not to answer this question, but this program that you're using, what is it?
It's free. It's Gannzilla Pro.
Gannzilla?
Yeah. If you join my Discord, it's in links.
Okay.
Yeah. If you join the Discord, it's right there in links.
All right. Well, I mean, from a programming standpoint, you would want to find. I would need all of the metrics that you're using that change on a daily basis, and then I'd have to find the source for them, and then pull them into the program. After that, the rest of it actually wouldn't be too difficult.
Like I said, I wouldn't even know what to tell you. All I can tell you is I'd line up the moon and change the numbers, and then I change my dates. That's all. All that other stuff, I wouldn't be able to answer. Honestly, you're out of my world now.
There's not like an API or something that's available that has the moon's location.
That's why I was asking what program he was using, because I'm sure the APIs are built into it. They're not getting the astronomical information themselves. They're pulling it from someone else.
Yeah, it's Gannzilla, Gannzilla Pro, Gannzilla Pro, and it's a downloadable desktop application.
Cool. Well, I'll look into it, and if it's simple, I'll get back to you. But I don't have time immediately.
Well, I'm just saying, if you do build it, just be careful because there's no other one out there that is automated.
For sure. I mean, I got to understand it a little bit more before I can attempt to build it.
Yeah, and like I said, when y'all guys have time, stop in the Discord, we'll chit chat, and we could break it down, and I'll spend more time with you, and show you what I'm doing with it and how I use it versus way some other people use it. And there's lots of YouTube videos on it, but there's a lot of information there. But when you have time, I just don't want NASA taking you out because you figured something out.
I love it. Honestly, what I think would be really cool is if you could translate that information into TradingView, and then see the lines in TradingView the way that this kind of is giving you?
Put it this way: there's a company out there. I think it's called UMA, UMA. I believe is what it's called. It's $3,300 or $3,400 a year, and they've got it integrated with their system.
Oh wow!
It's funny how just the fact that people trade off of, cancer or whatever, or the time of the days or planets or anything. It's just I find it so fascinating.
Yeah,
What's more fascinating? Here's what's really gonna blow your mind. If you go look at the TradingView chart that you see me build a while ago, and you look at where that line crosses, you check the degree angle of it, and you go back to TradingView, and you pull a degree on it, it's the same.
Wow.
it's sick. It is really sick. You're like, no way. Yeah, I didn't believe it either until I seen it while I was done.
Okay, so I'm curious, what was it about this the astrology that made you that gave you like the first, how did it cross over into the logically good trading category, and how did you start to get into using this versus other trading strategies?
So I was sitting there, Jules, I'm a huge EMA fan, right? I've been big on my EMAs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting there with the real one night, and I was in a lot of pain. I was hurting real bad, and I was just going through the tools, and I had took one of them gummy things, and I went into a trance with that Gann box. And I'm like, how does this work? What makes this work? There's got to be a reason that all these lines line up whenever you make it correlate. How do you fix it so that it works every time? And that opened a rabbit hole, because then you got to learn how to square the range, and so like you learn how to square the range, and then so I learned from there, how do I turn that square range into a circle? And then you've seen my other chart where I've got the boxes built all the way around, and I turned it into a circle. And it just kept going. And then I met Feather, and bless her heart, she has brought a ton of information, and it's pushed me even further. And then she's excited because she sees what I do, and she learns off of what I do. And so she's like, oh, I figured this out. Matter of fact, when we get done here, she's chomping at the bit to show me something that she figured out so we can get to work on that. And now, with this, being able to find support and resistances and use that as a great piece of data for people that are trading on a daily time frame. If it keeps working, congratulations. If it don't work, sorry about your luck.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hey, Donnie, I really appreciate all the info you spewed on to us today, man. That's really good stuff.
And once again, Jules, appreciate the opportunity, and guys, I really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to me.
Oh no, thank you.
I really appreciate it as well.
Yeah, so that I'll probably end the YouTube stream. I might start another one in a second, just because there was some technical analysis that I thought I wanted to do for some stuff, collecting notes. If there's any coins or anything in particular that you think might be cool to have like technical analysis on, let me know, and I'll do it. I'm trying to kind of build my library of notes on my website. So like I said, welcome to do it. I think it'd be a good opportunity to get some more content out there.
Bet, ARB, EOS, GRT.
Hang on. Let me write those down. Hang on. Okay, say that again.
FET, FET. ARB. EOS. GRT. The only other one sidekick that I might would add in would be CSPR.
And I was actually looking at Ether today, and I wanted to see if we could look at that one too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, I don't know if I'll do it in my particular server. I might go pop over to Donnie's, and if he needs somebody taking up what is it called, quiet air time or whatever, quiet air, or one of the other groups, I might do it. But I'll broadcast it onto the YouTube or something, and that'll be fun.
Sounds like a plan, Frank.
All right. Hey, I again appreciate it. That was some really good info, Donnie.
Anytime, Fred. Thank you for the opportunity. Y'all have a great day.
All right, you too.
Yeah, thanks.
There, I ended the YouTube stream. I gotta